Hey guys and gals, welcome back to another Vid Productions video. First of all, I'd like to apologize for last night not being up and ready to do a live stream. I was trying to get all of this hooked up so I can have a good presentation as far as my audio goes. So, about halfway through this video, you're going to hear the difference between me using the mixer and me not using the mixer. But this is all about this guy right here. And if you guys want to see how this is built from start to finish, watch this video coming right up. Hello and welcome to Vinny Vid Productions video. Hi, I'm Vinny and the channel is called BNSF 6951. On my channel, I show tips, tricks, techniques, and how-tos on laying track, doing scenery, doing electrical work, and much, much more. If you guys are interested in something like this, please hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to thumbs up. That'll get you notified when I'm doing a new video or a live stream. Oh, that's right. I do live streams on Friday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Anyhow, with all that being said, let's get on with this video. We'll talk to you guys later. Bye for now. Alright guys and gals, what you see in front of you right now is the kit that I am going to build with the anticipation that I will be getting into train room number 1 sometime in the next couple of months. So one of the things I've been wanting to build, but I can't scratch build it anymore, is this little engine shed that actually is in Mobest yard. I'm going to build the kit the way it is. I was thinking about cutting out 2 walls the way this one is cut out right here, because that's the way it is in the Mobest yard. But I cannot do that much cutting, and so I decided to build the kit as is. So I will show you how this kit's going to look with all the tapes and stuff like that as a mock-up, and I'll show you that here coming up in the next clip. Stay tuned, I'll be right back. Alright guys, as you can see, I got some blue tape on here, and the blue tape you see on here is actually the pieces that are going to get cut out. Another reason why I'm going to build the kit the way it is, because in this kit they give you these 2 end pieces here, and I do not want to do all the cutting to emulate 2 more end pieces on that side, so that's why I'm going to build the kit as is. There's 3 main walls. There's the open side where you can see the locomotive. There's an interior wall, and then there's the office or workshop or tool shed, whatever you want to call it, wall. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and kind of mock this up, which I always do with my kits, just to see how everything is going to fit. So with that being said, stay tuned, and I'll put this together on this little turntable and hope it works, because I have to use my 1, 2, 3 blocks. Stay tuned, we'll be right back. Alright guys and gals, this is going to be a mock-up of what the building is going to look like. So if you see this blue up here, that piece of plastic will be gone. And if I turn this around this way, the blue you see down here will be gone. The interior wall will remain the same as a full wall. The only thing I'm a little concerned about, and I'm going to switch over to my other camera right now, and I'm going to show you this, and you guys let me know what you think. Here we go. Now I'm going to put a locomotive in here, and it is like really tight. See if I can get a better view of that. I mean, I guess it's okay. I was expecting a little bit more room around the locomotive, but I guess there's enough room for people to work and such, so we'll have to see how that's all going to look. So maybe I'll just cut everything out and do another mock-up like this and see how it's going to look when this piece over here is open. Oh, I'm doing the wrong camera. Oops. Gotta get used to this third camera. This piece over here, once it's cut out, it may make the whole thing look a little bit different. Anyhow, let me continue on this and we'll see how it turns out. Be right back. Alright guys, since I'm handicapped, I have to do the best I can to cut pieces of plastic. I don't want to bother my daughter, because she's busy with the new baby and stuff. So, as you can see right here, this second line right here is 12 scale feet. And that's where they say to cut it for the office. But, I am noticing something here. As I cut these pieces off, I'm having these little guys right here. So why couldn't I use these guys for that center wall and make that all open inside there? Maybe that's a good idea. I don't know. We'll have to see as we go along. Anyhow, how I'm going to cut these is with my miter. And we'll see how this is going to go. I already cut one piece out, so it's not really that hard. And since there's a groove there, when I put my saw in there, it kind of falls right in that groove, so you can't make a mistake as far as the height and size and all that stuff. So I cut on the forward stroke. And it takes quite a few strokes to get it. There you go. Finally through. Alright. So now, like I said, I got another piece to go up here. And then I still have my piece that goes here. So, let me cut the next piece out. And again, we'll do another mock-up and see how this is going to look. So, alright guys, this is the only part I have to do by hand, only because it's only a shortcut here and a shortcut here. I have a brand new blade in my knife. Hopefully that'll make it easier. The part I have, my problem is to hold stuff down as tight as I could. So we'll have to see how this works. Brand new blade, and so we're going to go ahead and see how this works out. I have to do 2 of these.
And so we'll see. It feels like the knife is cutting really nice through this plastic. It's just hard for me to hold it. I think that went through. Okay, so that wasn't too bad. Now remember, I have these pieces over here, so I can make the inside wall the same as this outside wall. So I'm going to see how that's going to work out. Go ahead and cut this one out here, and I'll do the second one off camera. Oops. I think I just went out of the groove. Let me see if I can, yes, I could. Alright, so there's my first piece, and that would be this wall right here, like that, back here. So, I'm going to go ahead and cut the second one out the same way, and then I'll cut the 2 middle ones out using my miter. So, I'm going to pull this apart. I like these Pike Stuff kits, and they have another name. I forgot what their other name is. But anyhow, because they give you all these grooves already done for you, make it easier for you to cut stuff out. Take this piece of tape off here. Now I'm using my new microphone here. You can see it right here. It's a Samsung, and it's called a G-Track Pro. And it is USB. So I'm just collecting microphones, I guess, is a hobby. I keep mentioning I don't have that radio voice, you know. And so I'm trying to get the microphone that suits my voice the best. I'm not saying that any of these other microphones are bad. It's just they don't suit my voice. Now the very first thing is when you go in the groove here, to do a light cut with the knife, make the first cut, and then start putting your pressure down there. This is really hard on my hand right now. I think that's all the way through. Oh, no. Yep, there we go. The old snapping bend. I'm going to have to sand that down a little bit, but that's no big deal. We can do that right now. Alright, and that would...
This Vinny Vid production brought to you by Yankee Dabbler. For all your model railroad needs, check out Yankee Dabbler. Don't forget, 7% discount with BNSF 6951. And by Highways and Byways, awesome street graphics for your roads and streets on your model railroad layout. If you guys are looking for sophisticated model railroad electronics, Logic Rail Technologies has what you need. For a 5% discount on certain items, use code BNSF 6951. Alright guys, now it's time for the next step on your layout. Trees! I have been dealing with Bob for 7 years now, and he does excellent work on his trees. So if you need some trees on your layout, check out Long Shadow's Trees. Tell him the Cuz sent you.
This wall, right there. And now just to cut the two center walls out. And we'll use my digger-mahooses this time. Where do we cut that? On this line. How come I didn't draw that in there? Just this line. Okie dokie. That in there. And now, if I can find the saw, here it is. Even holding this in here is difficult because I have to put pressure on it that way and pressure on it that way. So I don't know. This blade is kind of old too. If it was a new blade, it would probably cut through a lot faster. There you go. And again, I got another upper piece here. You know what? These are probably small enough for me to actually make a little office building somewhere. So this would be the next piece right here. You don't look the same. And he's close enough. Alright, and then the final piece here. And I will just go ahead and do a time lapse and keep my mouth shut.
Liechtenstein. There we go.
Yes, sir. This is what it looks like when it's all mocked up. So I don't know. Like I said, I have all of these pieces over here. Well, you can't see because I'm using the fourth camera, and that is giving you an eye view of what this looks like. Anyhow, this is going to be, I guess, I don't know what they call it, machine shop, tool shop, parts department. I have no clue. But there will be a door coming from the main shop into this part of the building. Anyhow, we'll spin it around here. You can see the doors and windows that are going to be there. And those are already cut out by Pike Stuff. I like that idea, so I don't have to cut no windows out. This would be the back side here now. The picture shows that they had a garage door on this side. I might do that. It's only 3 cuts. I might be able to do that. And that'll give me a little bit more realism. Now, when this is on the layout, I want it to be facing this way so you can see the locomotive in there. I don't care about the back shop. I was looking at maybe doing a 2-stall. I don't know. I still might change my mind and do it. And if I do, I'll probably raffle this one off at some point. Anyhow, that's what it looks like from the front. And so we're looking good. Now the only thing I have to do is start putting all of this together. And they give you a whole bunch of the, oops, this way. All of these strips and stuff. And I am also going to do my own roof. I don't like the section roofs that they have. It's just too much work, too much cutting, because there still has to be a lot of cutting going on. So I'm going to do my own roof on this. Anyhow, let me continue on with this. I'm going to do this whole build in just one video. So we'll see how this works out. Stay tuned, and we will be back in a few minutes. Alright guys, I am going to do put this building together. I'm not going to put it together the way they suggest. because it's too much work, too much cutting, and so on and so forth. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this number 178 styrene strip for reinforcing the walls and putting all these pieces together. So with that being said, I'm probably going to have to go out to the store today and buy some more of this, because this is the only 2 pieces I got, and I think I'm going to need more than that. So let's see, we have one there, and we're going to have one there. Oh, look at that, I might have just exactly enough. Alright. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all of this apart, and we'll glue this strip on the back side of this, and we'll carry on from there. So let me take all this apart, and we will be right back. Alright guys, what I did was I secured all my pieces down to my mat, and I put my weights on here to hold it flat down, and I'm going to cut the pieces I need with my chopper. Very good tool to have. If you don't have one, I would suggest to get one, and I believe you can find that on my Amazon page. Alright, anyhow, I did mark it. You can see that mark right there. So we're going to just go ahead and cut this. Now I don't remember if I changed this blade recently. Right there. I guess it worked. And now I mentioned over here, I was going to do the same thing, except that this 178 is just too big. So I'm going to use this 175, which is a lot smaller. Problem is I only have this one little piece left, and I need at least one piece to go from end to end. So I'm going to have to go out to the store today and get that. Alright? So again, I already marked this up, and put it here in the chopper wrapper, and push down, and there you go. That's for this piece up here. Alright, so another thing I would like to tell you guys to do, if you decide to do something like this, is to, instead of putting this on here flat, because you see there's a lot of flex in that like that, if you put it this way, there's a lot less flex, so you'll be able to glue that on there and be certain that it's not going to warp on you. So let's get started. I'm going to put this side on first. I should have actually turned these all upside down so I can see what I'm doing. Then I'm going to follow these lines that are on here, and I'm actually going to put it lower than the roof line just in case I want to use some of their stuff, which I'm not sure of what I want to do yet. So we'll go ahead, and I'm going to use this Fowler Expert. Oops, that's upside down, isn't it? And that's what we're going to use today. So let's begin. Now the reason I can put this on edge like I'm doing is because you're not going to see inside of this building. And so we're going to put you there, and we're going to put you there. And just a little bit there. Alright, that's the first piece. And we'll do the second piece now, which is going to be this wall right here, which is the outside wall. And these pieces are small on here, so I just might have to do 2 of these to make sure that these walls stay straight. Okay. Put him there. That. I'm not putting the weight on the strip that I just put there. I'm just putting the weight on the project itself so it stays flat. Alright, so like I said, the only thing I can't do right now is this one piece right here because I need to get this. So we'll let that dry up, and we can put those 2 walls in and see what it looks like. So stay tuned, and we will be back in a little bit. Alright guys, this is one of the end walls, and as I told you earlier, it's going to have a garage door in there. So instead of using my knife to cut that out, I'm going to use the old nibbler. Now if you guys never seen this work,
I do have it on my Amazon page. It's a great little tool to have. You just put the tool in here on your plastic, on your line that you have, and you just squeeze and just keep going, and you have this door cut out a lot faster than you would think. Just gotta make sure that you go up to your lines and not past your lines. And this is like a hole punch, so every once in a while you gotta clean out the parts that are already cut off. So yeah, so here. Now we got right at the top line, and so I'm gonna go ahead and snip that right there. So there's the first part of the door. That didn't take very long now, did it? So now we'll go ahead and do the opposite side. Make sure you're on your line and just nibble away. That's why it's called the nibbler. Sorry if I'm going out of frame every once in a while, guys. I'm not watching. I'm watching my line here. Come on. Come on. And this one's right at the top. Bam. Now, we have this one little piece in the middle. We just take our tool and bring it up there, and we just turn it around, and we just nibble away, making sure to stay on your line. I'm following the lines that they put in there, so I'm hoping that it's right. Anyhow, there's my garage door opening in a very short time. And just to show you that the garage door will fit in there, just like that. So we are good to go. Let me sand this down a little bit because it does leave a few little rough edges. And we'll just use the fine side here. Oh no! Yes, I want to do this whole build in this one video. And like I said, I'm going to use my own roofing material. So that is good. This side doesn't have to get anything. So he's good to go. So basically, as soon as these guys dry, I can put those two walls in there with tape and see what it looks like. Stay tuned and we will be back in a few minutes. Alright guys, as you can see, I painted the building and I painted it with the khaki sand color. It came out okay. I just don't like all these little pieces that you got to put together. Even though it's metal siding, you can still see the seams. Anyhow, my next step, well, there's going to be a couple of steps. Number one, I'm going to paint the doors and windows. And I like about these RIX products is they give you these vents to put on the roof. And so that's a good thing. There's a little detail that they give you. I don't want to put all of these pieces together to make the roof. Besides, they all have to be cut. If you can see those lines there, They all have to be cut, and I just don't want to do that. So with that being said, I'm going to make my own roof, and I'm going to be using this JTT product. It's corrugated siding. So we'll continue on with that, and we'll bring you back when I'm ready to put this thing together. Be back in a little bit. Bye for now. Alright guys, my next step I have completed right now, and that was to paint the roofs and the windows. I did the windows and doors in a smoky beige, and I did the roof sections in a perfect gray, both products by Rust-Oleum. Now, I think I might have said this earlier, but you guys know what these are? When you get electrical equipment, I think I already said this, but I don't remember, but I'm going to need some hoses, and these are the ties that they use around, if you buy electronic equipment, they tie the wiring up with. So I've been saving these because some of these are just, I think, a pretty good size for hoses that I'm going to need in my ethanol plant. So that's my tip for today. Anyhow, I'm going to go ahead and put these windows in that building right there. I'm going to put these roofs on that building right there, and we're going to see how all of that's going to come together. So stay tuned, and we will be right back. Yes, sir. Alright guys and gals, as you can see, I've got the windows and doors in there. I did break that one window right there. The tolerance between the factory cutouts and the window was really, really tight. So I had to scrape on the rest of the other three windows and the door. I had to scrape both the paint off the inside of where these mount and off the windows and doors to make them fit. So now I also have a door on the inside that goes into the shop, into the repair facility. And next thing we're going to do is we're going to start working on the roofs. But because the roofs are so thin, I am going to be adding some extra support. So what I did with here, a piece of 40,000 styrene, and I found a piece in my scrap pile that fit in here, and I just trimmed it up a little bit, make it fit. So that will give it a little bit more sturdiness as far as this goes. And also, I am doing the same thing on the peak roof right here. I do have a piece under there, and I will be adding this piece on the other side. So, with all that being said, one other thing I want to mention is I'm not really happy with the color of the roof. I mean, I like the color gray, but it looks almost white. So I'm going to change the color of the roof, I think. So we'll see how that turns out here in a little bit. Stay tuned, and we will be back in a few minutes. Alright guys and gals, what you're looking at right now is the repainted roofs that I got going on here. I painted them with the metallic aluminum, or aluminium as our boys across the pond would say. Anyhow, I want you guys to look at that. That looks pretty nice, I would think. And I'm also trying to get this mixer to work better than it's been working. I'm trying to take, it sounds like I'm in a garbage can or something when I do this. So we're going to see if we can get this actually to make this. When I move the slider, that's not working. Anyhow, let's see. All right, we'll be back in a few minutes. Bye for now. All right, guys and gals, this is our next project that we have completed. As you can see, I've added the roof details on there. And over here on the shack side, or machine shop, or office, or whatever you want to call it, it's not glued down yet. I don't think I will glue it down just yet. But that little guy right there, that is a track nail, and it looks perfect to be a steam pipe or something like that. So let's see. Let me give you a different camera angle. Maybe. I think. I hope. Alright guys, this is going to be the way it's going to look on the layout. Now this here side, the machine shop side, will be facing toward the aisle. So you'll be able to see the locomotives just like this. Now, we'll turn this around a little bit, and I can't use one of my BN locomotives because it's green and my green screen is working, so we don't see it. Anyhow, we'll go ahead and twist this around a bit more, and you can see inside the locomotives. I don't know if maybe I should have cut those walls down just a little bit more, but I think that's the way it actually is. You only see half of the locomotive when it's in the shed. Anyhow, we'll continue around here. And that's what it's going to look like. So the next step would be to bring this out to the layout. First, we're going to do a little bit of weathering on it. So stay tuned, and we will be right back.
pointy tip. And a while back, Dave BNSF had given me a bunch of these. Let me show you this box, and it has a bunch of different weathering colors. I don't know what brand weathering colors they are, but they work for me. So basically, I'm going to take the locomotive out of here for now. This is one locomotive that's going to be getting a decoder here pretty soon. And I'll put this over here like that. Now, I'm not going to do too much weathering on here. Just enough to give it a little bit of dirtiness. So, I'm going to take my rust, I'm going to dip my brush in that, and I'm going to tap it out on my towel. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come down like that. And I know you can't see very much of it, but it's there. Just enough. I don't know if you guys are seeing that, but in real life you can see it pretty good. See if you guys can see that. Probably not. I can see it here. It's just barely, and that's all I want is just a little bit. And I'll turn it around here and I'll do the opposite side. And you know, if there's rust dripping down on the roof there, it's going to come down on the walls a little bit. So I'm going to do a little bit on the walls. Do this guy here. It's not glued in either. It's just I just drilled a hole and stuck it in there. Alright, so we can say that the roof section is pretty good. I'm going to dip a little bit more in here and put it out on my napkin. And then we take this guy off, and we're just going to just a little bit come down on the side of the building. And I know it's hard for you guys to see that, but it is actually working there. Okay, turn this around, and we'll do a little bit here. Just a hint of rust. Now on the front here, where the locomotives go in and out, I'm supposing that there will be a streak of darkness from the exhaust. So as soon as I get this capped up, I will pull out something we can use for that. Just don't want to close up. There you go. Alright, out of that same little thing I showed you, I got a couple of different colors we're going to use. I think we'll use this darker gray right here. Now, first of all, what I want to do is I want to put a little bit of color here and a little bit here, and the same thing on this side. I'm not making this very heavily weathered, just enough to make it look like it's been used. And it's been in use and still is in use actually. A little bit on the door, a little bit on the door. Alright, so now I'm going to go take my darker color. I'll do the same thing, I'll sprinkle him out there. This is not going to take very much anyhow. I'm just going to take it and just put it right over the center of the door. You guys can see that, I can see it, so you guys probably can see it also. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. The only thing left for me to do with this now, I'm not going to glue these roofs down yet because I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to put lights in here or not. There. Alright, so we could take some of the black that I just used and we could just kind of give this a little dusting so it looks a little old. And later on, I'll hit this with a dull coat. Anyhow, the only thing left for me to do right now is to take this out to the layout and put it where it's going to be living. Now we need to put a little bit of blackness on this roof too. Alright, so now that we have this all looking nice and used up a little bit, let me get... Alright guys, what you're looking at is the entrance to my engine facility at Mobest Yard. Before we get into showing you the engine house I just built, I want to show you some modifications that are going to be done when I finally get into this room. I'm going to be adding this curved turnout right here because I want 2 tracks to come into this bulk cement plant. I have a lot of these 2-bay hoppers. Second thing that's going to be modified is some of these tracks are going to come out and become stub-in tracks because those turnouts back there are not prototypical. Anyhow, the reason why we're here is to see this guy. Now this guy here fits in the space very nicely, and eventually I will be doing some scenery around there, putting some other kind of, I don't know, junk and stuff, I guess. This is SMRG, Salt River Mining Company. Anyhow, I hope you guys and gals enjoyed this video, and as always, your questions, comments, inputs, subs, shares, and likes are always welcome. For now, that's all folks. BNSF 6951 and VDV Productions out for now.